it's not saying it is. It's saying it's preparing it, but a lot of times anyway, I'll find that it says they'll go, oh, okay, we're going now. And then we're actually been going for a while. So we're probably already live. So good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. Welcome. This is a great opportunity right now to get to share the current moments and what we're having happen right now with Stacey. Stacey and I, as a lot of you know, were together at the Sology Festival, and that was just such an amazing experience. Like, oh, I don't know why people can't have their comments up. For some reason, I don't see a comment spot. I need to check that out. So anyway, Stacey, and I decided to jump on and talk about some of the current experiences. A lot of people are having things happening right now. Are not supported on private videos. They're not allowed to comment right now.
Oh.
That's so crazy. How is this private? What did I do?
The new part of technology.
Okay, so well, this is how we're gonna do it. So people can't comment. I'm sorry, guys. Normally I'll follow the comments and try to integrate, and answer anything. So once I figure out what I did there and can fix that, we'll go back to that Normally, Stacey and I are joining on a restream service. Oh wait, hey, it's working.
Yay.
Wait. Uh, okay, cool. All right.
Yes.
That was weird. I guess I clicked something right. Okay, now we're actually started. Good morning,
Awesome.
everyone. Welcome. I am higher vibrations, and so are you. Today I have Stacey here with me. Stacey's, a lot of you know, she joins me with the Trinity show. She's just a beautiful energy. I got to have a lovely and brilliant experience of sharing the festival with her, and we just have a lot that's going on. So we decided we needed to go live and talk to people and let others who are going through what we're going through understand as we're leading into the solstice energy and so on. So welcome, Stacey. Thank you for joining me.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Does this sound all right? Is this
Sounds
coming
great.
through? Okay, cool.
Sounds great.
I just wanted to start off, even though we did sort of say it privately, that I think this is a
Hello,
really good opportunity
everybody.
for me to say thank you, Todd.
Yes.
I didn't officially get to say it at any time during the festival because,
Oh,
dude, there was so much happening, and
oh no, I lost you.
whew, like nearly 2 weeks later, and I'm tired experience. Can you hear me? Am I still there?
Now I can. Yeah, yeah, you just do the squirrel thing. Keep going.
Sorry. So yeah, I just officially wanted to come out and say, Todd, thank you so much for creating such an awesome space
Yeah.
for us to all get together and gather in that awesome moment. I'm crying. Um, it was awesome, dude, and I really wanted to shout out and give my appreciation for doing all that you did. I know it must have been a whole lot of stuff to bring together, but I just wanted to just say from my heart that I feel that it went how it should have went, and the experience was just phenomenal. And I just wanted you to know that I'm truly grateful for you doing that. So thank you.
Thank you, Stacey. I had that in my list of things that I wanted to do today too. Is that I've for me it still doesn't feel like it's over, and so like I kept waiting for that. This is the last time we're doing this to say the grand thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't ever find a time where it did feel like it was over because we had done so much healing and so much was happening and so many connections were made. Just this transformational energy and just the sharing of all the energies present are still being shared now too. Like I was telling Stacey, I feel like I'm just gonna look up and I'm gonna see, one of y'all walking up the road right here. It feels like you're here, and so yeah, like and then Jana's here. Hello. She was at the festival as well. Jacques and Marie's here. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, still Jana says still processing Sology Fest. Yes, yeah. It's so much happened. Oh, and something's happened just recently happened on our planet. the sun goddess particle has made impact. Like it's made it into our ionosphere and into our energy. And I kept getting these messages. We were channeling it over and over again, and I kept saying it looks kind of like sperm going into an egg, and like all of this stuff, and it's coming from the sun, and it happened, and it's I there's a video. I'll post it out to people on YouTube. I put it onto the Facebook and in the Telegram chats. Is this amazing thing, and it's named after a sun goddess,
Mm-hmm.
which I've because it comes from the sun and it was the
Mm-hmm.
female sun and all this and I didn't know what any of those messages meant. And that's why the energy of the planet is doing this and everyone is feeling sick. Their body's feeling like drained, tired,
Mm-hmm.
mucus and crazy. And then the amount of downloads that's coming in, I don't know what happened when it's over because so much came in. You bite on the last thing you chewed on, you know?
And it's overlapping because there's so much coming in. It's completely just unfolding, unfolding. But dude, when you sent that video and I went through to watch it, is that really good? Because yeah, it sounds funny.
You're
Um,
good.
I said to you, I received some bites when I was in Houston, and 2 weeks later, obviously, when you get a mosquito bite, they, they have their time and then they reactivate at some point and then they diminish. And this one particular bite had completely diminished. And then last night, for whatever reason, it decided to reactivate. And
Yeah.
then you sent that goddess video. And I've been doing the whole um Aphrodite appreciation. I know she's the goddess of love.
Yeah.
And I woke up this morning with this phenomenal activation on my leg. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then you sent the video. And the activation of this thing that's just hit the planet is in alignment with what has reappeared on my leg. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, literally just within the hour, just like, whoa, this thing is happening to us physically. We're
Yeah.
having physical signs of these things that are happening on the planet. So not only are we getting to get the activations from each other just by sharing, our bodies are actually showing us physically
Mhm.
that these things are happening on the planet. We're getting them visually. And I was just like, oh, dude, it was awesome, man.
Yana says that sounds delicious, Stacey.
Very tasty.
Yeah, I mean, and the appearance of circles, that's what I've been going on since I've come here, is I'm just seeing circles everywhere. In the trees, there's like these, the way that the leaves have fallen under the trees, they're everywhere. They're like, it's a hollow circle of leaves. And they're in all of these trees all around where I'm at now. And, as a lot of you know, I've come to Arkansas, we're in the roots of Magic Mountain. We're here, and it's just crazy being in this place. And I've been seeing all these circles everywhere. And the circle, every time I'm seeing the circle, it's Sology. It's, like all of the O's, like it's this energy of spheres that looks like this when
Behind
we
you.
all gather. When we come to gather, we then do this merging thing. A lot of us did this really cool heart activation at the festival. A lot of people, um, it's hard to learn how to hug someone without there being anything behind it except for love. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, it was fun to watch them learning how to do that, you know, and some people, almost got it and are doing really good at their progress. It's a lot of unconditioning, and so it was really cool. My daughter's sneezing back there. She
Bless you, Maddie.
Maddie never gets sick, and she got basically better, and then she was just like, now she's got coughs and sneezes, and it was we she was there with this in this healing thing that we did. A lot of you, do you mind if I just go on a tangent?
No, go ahead. I'm drinking.
Okay.
I'm
A lot of
soothing.
on Saturday, this was the a day that wasn't aired, and it was just because there was some storm winds coming through, and it stopped the streaming ability, but it was all recorded, and at a later time, Todd's going to put out this recording. You know, and I just, Todd did so much for this, like, and to watch him to just keep just okay, and just keep going and just, giving and giving and giving of himself was um beautiful to watch, and at the same time, the whole time I just wanted to like let me do some of it too, but um and the amount of that he gave for this was noticeable. We got so much out of it. And, the experience that I had while at this festival for the whole length of the experience, the whole length of it. And for me, it basically started in the beginning of November, you know, um, has been um life altering and forever changing. And the types of experiences that I was made to get to have for the first time in this body, um, I would not trade it for the world. The experiences I got to have and got to see, got to witness, got to be in and share an energy with so many people in this heightened way, and whether someone's shadow was presenting in any given moment, because that did happen too. A lot of us didn't sleep because we were having such a blast. It was like we were all being like uh, cradled by each other when those moments came through, and it got to make it so parts of you can shine through and out and be healed, so it can be seen. We were doing the same thing with the land, and during this playtime when we didn't have the recording, we were doing a lot of these things off the side, like Stacey and I and several others were making this cacao, and that was just such a beautiful experience. It was off camera. It was off the side. This was during Todd's birthday too. It was on the 9th. And it was this shared place. It was so beautiful to see people cycling over and becoming part of this. Angie came, Angie Willow Love came, and it was then we had been talking about the three witches, and that there was an important symbol of the three witches of the brunette, the blonde, and the redhead. And in a different story that started the process of us making the love water, the rose water, for the healing of the land, started with someone who pretends to be a brunette, someone who pretends to be, like, and so there was these different, and then I'm basically strawberry blonde. So I always got to be the redhead at that story. Then we're over here making the cacao, and it's that same story came back again. Now we're making the cacao, and I'm the blonde. Stacey's the brunette still. And then here comes, Angie Willow Love, and she was the redhead.
It
And
was
she
awesome.
knew we called her to us. She said, "You called me to you." And we together took our turns naturally. Just okay, now it's your turn to grade the cacao. Now it's your turn to stir the cacao. And then we had Colin cycle in, and we had Todd cycle in, all these different energies of people coming in and sharing. And then I'd flitter away and I'd come back and I'd see that there's more people that were just there or just leaving, and just this was all happening on the side, off record. I think at one point when you and Angie were singing the water song together,
Yeah,
Todd
that
came
was
down on his
phenomenal.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Oh, Todd caught it. That's amazing.
I don't know
That
how
would
the
be
audio is
really
because
good
you know
to
how
see.
his phone works with the audio.
But that was just phenomenal how that came about, you know. We were just singing, and then she it got to a stage where she was like, "Oh, um you sing a song." And I was like, "Well, oh no, all the songs I've ever known in my head have just all vanished all of a sudden." So we just went back to singing something that we both equally knew. And she was like, "Oh, I'm going to teach you this song." And excuse me if I mispronounce it. I think it's called the um Algonquin song. And as soon as she said it, I was like, "Oh, that's the water song." And she was like, "Yes, it is." And we just started singing this song. And it turns out that we'd both been singing it the same day. I was guided to get up and bathe that morning with that song in mind. And then the whole house was listening to it because Jackie had heard me singing it. So by the time I got downstairs, everyone was listening to the water song. So it was something that was apparent where we were staying. And
Right.
then for Angie, who I've only just met the day before, is going to teach me a song that I've been singing for the best. I've been telling you for like years, dude, I need to sing you this song. I need to sing,
Yeah.
not been brave enough to sing it to you yet. And then she's singing this song, and I'm just like, what a perfect, momentous moment to be making the cacao while
Yeah.
singing this song that she'd been singing all day at the beach to the ocean. And then we both got to sing it together. And then, like you said, the circling of the people that were getting involved. So
Yeah.
all that love was, I've never had a cacao ceremony so profound that everybody was taking a turn to put love and honor and gratitude in the process. And it was just, oh, it's so awesome to be a part of. And then everybody got to participate in drinking it. And it was, there was a lot of love being shared that evening. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
That was amazing. And the natural flow of it. That was what I really enjoyed observing the most. Yes, the honor. Every person that came, there was honor. They stood there with honor. Like it was, uh, I, someone might use the word reverence, but I don't know if that applies because it's a different, it's not like, ooh, it's like just a natural, and just to see how it came in and then, um, but what was the most fun to observe on a human level was how natural it was. There was no effort. It was just like this. It was like a folding of like waves, and it was just so beautiful, like a dance.
Mm-hmm.
And there were other steps to the healings that we did. We had this rose water that my daughter and I made that, was very specific for the land. And we made a quantity in order to assist other parts of the place. So yeah, I'll get you to I secretly went to the ocean and shared this with the ocean. Um, where it was done in a private way. See that ceremonies don't need always to have an audience. It's cool when you do, but this particular moment, just worked out where I was just there. I was there with Trina on the docks, and it was time to give the ocean some of this, and it's 222. The
Nice.
the sharing of this rose water had been happening over a series of days. We started as this amazing grounding the energy in a group at this Airbnb that we were in. And uh there were more steps. Well, Stacey wants to talk about her step, but that was at the last part of the story. So I don't know, should we
Oh no, I just
say what
wanted
we
to say
did
that
with
I,
the rest?
yeah, no, you can carry on. I was just like, yeah, no, you managed to allow me to have some so I could bring it to this side of the world to continue. And yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's all I wanted to say.
Please go ahead.
No, 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 that was no, that was literally it. Just the fact that
Okay.
there was enough left over for me to be able to bring it to the other side of the world and to continue to spread it in these areas and to divide it out. So thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. And then we uh, got to spread this water throughout the corners of the land where we were doing this festival. We also had a private ceremony. It was private, not just because that was the end. Everyone was gone, and we were like, and those who were still there were the same people who had been part of all these other steps. Colin was there, Stacey was there, Todd was there, Angie Willow Love was there, Madison was there. I feel like there was somebody else there that I can't remember right now, but I could be mistaken. There
I
were
can't
other
remember.
energies there for sure. There were
Mm.
other, it was strong. And then there was some channeling that came in. Angie started to speak this beautiful light language. Um, there was the stones, the rose quartz that had started the process under the full moon that my daughter and I had made this rose water with, um, were bestowed into the hands of people that were had been pre-picked by spirit, and an example of the divine masculine and the divine feminine chose where to put these stones, just at the edge, the place of the bayou, where the water comes and is ignited and in empowered again. So a lot of this was about healing the land, and this was just done just in the times that we could. So I think I got a recording of us at the end of that, the stones, when we were doing the stones. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was really cool.
I'm trying to remember back. I
I
just
know.
know I'd sort of tranced out by that point. But that was very all of it, dude. It's very difficult to try and pin unless it was like, you know, things that were documented at that point and I can go back and look at them. I'm still in such a daze. Like I said
Yeah.
to you today, it's like, did all that really happen? Did I actually leave the country? Did I actually leave my home?
Yeah.
You know, it's so bizarre. And I think what is the most bizarre out of all of this is that initially when I returned home, I thought it was jet lag because I've never traveled before and never had that experience of like a long haul flight. So by the time I came home, I was like, okay, this is normal. This is what people must feel after flying and traveling for so long. So I gave that a day to process that, you know, because you know your body, you know what it takes to go through exhaustion. And then it happened the next day, and then the next day, and it just seemed to get more extreme every day. The exhaustion
Yeah.
and the just, I was like, wow, is this really jet lag? Like this is impossible. Like
Yeah.
I really don't feel this is jet lag. This feels like something else. And on the same tip of it, I wasn't able to process all the phenomenal things that had actually happened while we were there.
Yeah.
So I was like, all this is happening. And then to top it off, everybody around the planet are having the same exact symptoms, the same feelings. They're going through this whole. I really like that when you did the live that someone coined the term Twilight Zone because that's
Yeah.
perfect, right? Twilight Zone to the hilt because even till I think today is like the but I say that I still woke up in the afternoon and it's pretty it was almost dark again. And I was like, what is going on? This
Right.
is complete Twilight Zone. And it's not an exhaustion I would know of, you know, if I was coming down with something, if it was an illness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you have the illness symptoms, but it's not illness. It's your body doing something else.
Yeah.
And my,
Transmuting.
yeah, and this is a whole different vibe. I've never been through this process at such an extreme level. And dude, even though it's exhausting, I am loving every minute of it because it is so new, because it is so awesomely
It's a
new,
new.
anew. It's anew, and it really is a new wave.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it because it's different and it's so beautiful when you're getting the confirmation
Yeah.
from others you've not even spoken to, and you're like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, dude, I'm flat out. I'm not, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Like, I can't stop sleeping and I just want to rest. And I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Now I'm good. Now I know that it's happening all around the planet. You're
Yeah.
giving me confirmation.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
people I haven't spoken to for a while are giving me confirmation. And it's amazing because we are here.
yeah.
We are so here.
Yeah. We are. And we're in this. Yes. What it's so okay. So I the people around me, if you looked in from the outside, I bet I look like I'm depressed because I'm just so tired. I'm not. I'm so joyful. I'm so in the moment. The energy I'm in is total neutrality. I was trying to tell Stacey about that. It feels like a blank slate all the time. And so it feels kind of it's neutrality. It's just like and it's not even like a meh kind of neutrality. That's an opinion.
Mm.
Like it's just everything just is and it's awesome and like I'll have moments of like yeah I'm really excited but for the most part I'm just like yeah dude and I'm just hovering like right at the level and tired but like I don't sit here and go man I just feel my body feels super tired it's just that I'll feel like sitting down and then I'm sleeping. Like it's not like I'm like, man, I really need to get this body in bed. It's just I'm kind of like I said, kind of hovering and then, I I know I'm gonna go just sit down. And my daughter's doing the same thing. And we're right now we're in a house with other people and they're not doing these things. Like if this was a contagion experience, then those who you would have contact with would also have at least something similar. And
Mm,
they're not, and like it's been a full week now, that we've been having this stuff and and the incredible thirst
hmm.
for water specifically.
My table is like filled with drinks. Like I couldn't move around a second. I'm
Yeah,
just like, I've got drinks everywhere. I'm just so thirsty all
yeah,
the time.
yeah. In fact, I need some more water.
And lip balming. My mouth is dry constantly,
Yes,
constantly. Yeah. Like, so my mouth is always being moistured. I'm always drinking. As soon as I finish the cup of water, I'm like, where's my water gone? I've like literally, I've drank it.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah. It's crazy. And a lot of this is, and I knew this, that when we were doing different steps of the healing, each one of those steps we were transmuting. And what we were doing is we were providing a space for Gaia to cry her tears, right? So she can cry her tears of joy. That's always been the channel's message. It's always looked like that. Before it's kind of looked like a geyser. My voice has really been affected, like the past 24 hours especially. But and then it started to do it while we were doing the healing. And we also noticed, like I was saying, like earlier, some of our shadow aspects came out really well during the shadow moon, the no moon night, the new moon. I know it's called, but
The
like, what did I was trying to think of how Todd said it. He like the absent moon,
dark, was it the dark moon?
the dark moon.
He
Yeah,
put it the dark moon. And I was like, whoa,
yeah, and that's the
yeah.
shadow aspect, right?
Hmm.
So that was the same time all of a sudden a lot of people kind of spiked their own shadow side a little bit. And that was when it was really cool to see that everybody loved you anyway,
Hmm.
and like this just little stuff here and there. And I would say that people are going to be working through processing and healing the stuff that they were able to see that was allowed to come up and also give themselves a million pats on the back for how much they've done and how amazing they've evolved. Like over this is going to keep going through the solstice, well through the solstice and into next year, and I I am so honored to have been a part of this in any way, and I just I was often just in reverence and just taking in the experience, and like just being there. And I would say if I had a regret, it would be not a regret, but the closest thing that you would call that would be that I didn't like engage as big as I thought I would. Like I was just there and I was happy to talk to anyone who came up. But I found that I almost felt like they had a hard time approaching me. And I wanted to be able to be somehow presented for them to be able to be coming up to you a little bit easier. But it wasn't on purpose. I was just chilling. Usually it was Stacey and I were next to each other and it was Maddie and we had my really good friends. Stacey and Lita are my two best friends and they were together and it was so great to have them. It was just and then we had Jackie and we had Viv and this house. And so we would go to the Airbnb and do healings and stuff and do some
Hmm.
work. And like it was beautiful. At the same time, I would like lose track of the time and be like, oh, people are already at the Sology Festival. We should go. Whoops. You
After
know?
just being up for an hour, we're like, whoa, we've got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. But remember, still also, you were still being a mum,
Right.
because obviously with Maddie being there as well, like you were still doing mum mode. You still had to keep an eye on your kiddo.
Yeah.
We're somewhere not at home, and she's off having fun sometimes. In the mum, the spidey sense will click in.
Right.
Even though she would be somewhere having an awesome time and doing some amazing kid stuff, it still would click in. So you
Yeah.
were all over the place in one space,
Yeah.
so you did awesome, dude.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
It was a really good experience for her too. She's amazing. I was just I looked over at her. It's 234. I looked
Mhm.
over at her and saw a different person looking back at me yesterday. Like it happened. Like she is so much wiser, like, and not hardened, that's a different thing. She's wiser. I can feel and see it in her. Like she got a really big upgrade, and she spiked a fever 3 times. And I didn't even think
Mhm.
about the fact that it was three.
Wow.
Again, it's always three for her at 369. That's just, and she's 9 right now, and like just watching from just that, and she wasn't even speaking. She was just sitting there. And I could see the wisdom, the upgrade that had happened for
Mm.
her, and just from the corner of her eye, and I know we all have had some kind of thing like that. Like the portals that we are experiencing, it's like a big funnel or a tube, like Jacques and Marie also mentioned the circles that we talked about earlier. That's portals too.
Mhm.
She says, interesting circles. I'm seeing them in the sky here in Mexico with wispy clouds, portals. Yes, actually, there's a lot of converging energies that are like, I've it there's a lot of ways to word it, but you can call it like uniting multi realities, multi-dimensional frequencies, uniting universes, you know, it's a returning to. And so we're having more, and as it's coming in, we're just kind of like there's been no time. I really feel like no, I don't feel like it didn't happen. I feel like it just happened, the festival. Like when I can't believe it's Tuesday the next week.
I know. I
Like
know.
I was on the road coming here on Tuesday last week.
Whoa.
I don't feel like that even happened. Someone else drove us too, dude. It was really amazing. The kind of experience where everyone's connecting now. You can't not feel people. Every one of my hair follicles is connected to a different person. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
Hmm.
And it's like an open conversation, sharing.
The
Ah,
conversations being had, we've been sharing quite a lot just the last couple of days, but the fact that I'm literally having conversations with people
yeah.
and getting like,
Telepathic, to be clear,
yeah,
for those
sorry,
listening.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
and getting responses physically, and we would have these, you'd think about somebody and they would call,
Right.
maybe an hour or two later, or maybe on that moment, but this is like physically in one day I would have a conversation with a person telepathically, and then I'm having a physical notion that these people are responding, and I'm
Right.
like, whoa. And it's actively happening, it's real, it's not like, oh, did I just think that happened? But to have it happen twice in a day is like,
Yeah.
this is real. Like
Yeah.
like you were saying earlier, we've been given these new power tools,
Yep.
before we had the training tools, like, here's a screwdriver, but maybe with a little bit of an edge, but you can't have too much of an edge
Right.
because you're not wise enough to use this yet. And you're like, but I've got no screws. So then you get the huge ones that you can't slip the screwdriver out of. But now we're actually having the power tools that we can actually use to build our reality.
Right.
Like, we're actually being able to put our reality
We're
together.
building now.
We're building, and it's in real time, and
Yeah.
other people can see it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm building this imaginary world or manifestary world and no one else can be a part of it. I'm bringing people in, or people are bringing me into theirs, and it's
Yeah.
in real time that we can talk about it and we can all see it.
And we're
And it's
doing this
people.
in sleep place most of the time too.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people noticing that they're so tired and they're just what I'm doing is I'm waking up engaged. I'm not recalling the vast majority of the dream, you could say. I'm recalling because I'm being abruptly woken,
Mm-hmm.
awake, I awakened. I always mess up those different tense ones on when it comes to being awake, because there's also the spiritual awake that's just discombobulated. But And then there's the woke. It's like,
There's too
ah,
many words for this. Wait, we need a
yeah.
new one.
So anyway, not sleeping and coming from that dream place of sleep and going into waking up, engaged in this interaction, and then finding out that other people had almost identical interactions from their specific perspective, from the personality of who they are and what they were doing in it. Like there was Stacey and I and another person too that all woke up engaged and remembering the other being engaged in this other way, and and we're doing this while we're sleeping. It feels like we are a group of people talking to a larger group of people, kind of like we do on Zooms where we have like a Trinity show going on, and like or something like that. And then you just you're helping everyone understand something, but then everybody has their own agenda a little bit. Not agendas, that's not maybe not the right word, but like for instance, my thing was it always is the compassion of everybody there and seeing that maybe that person's not understanding what that person's saying because they're being so passionate.
Mhm,
And so I would be like the translator to be like, let me help you see, and this kind of thing. And then being like, oh, okay, I understand your perspective. Maybe that person. So let's provide a bridge or some type of translation, and like everybody's loved. It's all good. You're all welcome to be here. That's the role I always have been taking in these committee meetings that we're having in a galactic way, an
mhm,
astral galactic conversation of why and how we're building the creating that we're doing is now we're in this place where we can
mhm.
build now. We can create lasting ways. And what's your perspective in this? Because we talked about this. Do you mind sharing?
um, I'm being spoken to from behind. If you can just give me an edge of what you remember me saying, and then I can latch on. But yeah,
Yes.
they're telling me stuff from behind, so I'm trying to just
You
hold them off.
can go ahead. What are you getting?
It was just about the uniting of stuff, so I can hold off for that when we sort of bridge the topic. So yeah,
Okay.
if you can just
Yeah,
yeah.
so and then uh I actually can't remember what your perspective was. I had it until you asked me though. That's
The building when we were building stuff, and but yeah, I think because we say so much
yeah.
in the space of we could have a 2 minute conversation and cover 20 different subjects.
Yeah,
So trying to recall it back, but I can just hear them saying I'm finding it really really important that the work that we were doing, how we woke, not even how here we go again with the woke, um the activation of Gaia,
yeah,
when the stomping of the ground, underneath the sky, and just the bringing forward, and like you were saying, it's the council. And dude, I just keep getting the four colors, the four corners. We brought back in the four corners, so we're all
yeah,
having this active conversation now, and it's like we're having the conversation from every corner.
yeah,
It's coming in, and I've literally brought that home with me. I won't go into too much detail because it could take up a lot of time, but just the fact that a lot of my indigenous roots have been brought back online. So just to
yeah,
be there in that experience and to hear my ancestors and to hear our ancestors, I say mine because I speak for myself and for anyone else that can relate. But just to know that when I hear them now, I hear them good. They are
yeah,
so loud and they're telling me like, do not forget to remind or to bring about the conversation that the divides need to be broken. The
yeah,
divides are breaking down. Like we are bringing in all four corners and they are now merging
yeah,
in this united stage. And dude, I only got this yesterday, but it's already in my home. There are three of the corners in my home already. In
cool.
regards to the children and our nationalities. Well, I love the background.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up next when you're done.
Thank you. But I only got this. We have so much of a mix in this house alone, we actually already have the three colors, the three corners. So the integrated unitedness within just my home alone, I was like, what the freak? And I'd never understood it until now. It's because I can hear them. The limitation of us being able to hear and speak and understand is coming to an end.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask, you will receive. And we are like vast receivers now. And that's why we're being able to have these humongous conversations with each other without having to pick up a telephone. Dude, have we
Right.
not wanted this for so long?
I
The fact that
know.
we do not need technology to be able to confirm that I was thinking about you. And you can hear, I was thinking about you too. And we can send that love vibe over this, our own internet. We have our
Yeah.
own awesome internet that we are spreading this thing about. So I've just gone around all in tandem, and your picture is really distracting. So I really want to know what that was for.
I have something else to share too. I'm trying to find the we here this is. We have been sharing in a telepathic way so much with others that I found something else out that's kind of fun. Just side note is that we can also telepathically understand what someone's going to say while they're talking to you telepathically. So I still interrupt people. Even when we're having this, because I can see it, I can see what they're gonna say, I can feel it, and we're translating it with this is how we talk, putting words there. And so while this is how, oh yeah, I already know what you're gonna say. It's like I do that in real life too, because I already know what you're gonna say because you send it before your mouth finally makes a voice. But I want to share this really quick because it's a different topic, but I just saw Sarah point out, she said, did you know Houston, Texas is the central point of the eclipse? So I'm going to share this here. Can you, yeah, there you go. You can see it now. Okay, so um is what this is the all the eclipses of since 2017. So we had a couple other ones up here too, that like this big one right here. This one was the one that was that went through Houston. And it is the one that was the eye or the circle with the hole in it because of the where it was. And this is this eclipse that we're having here. This one here is the one that's coming in April 8th, 2024. And this particular central spot is definitely really important and impactful. And it does go through Houston again, I believe. It's like an area near to Houston. There's a lot happening in these two X's that Stacey and I have known for a while. That a lot of people have known for a while, but it was interesting that I ended up in the beginning of one X and then ended up in the X that we're in now. Where I live now is just above or not just above. I don't even know why I said above. I was clicking the above thing. Um, is where I'm at is we're actually going to have a festival here, or I guess you could call it a festival, a gathering of starseeds for the eclipse. And we're in the path too. So it's just really cool because we've been waiting for this other one to happen for a long time. There's a lot happening in regard to it. There's important, cool steps along the way as well. I didn't know there was an eclipse in April 2024, but I knew that I was supposed to be right here by April 2024. I always knew it by like my birthday's the end of March. And so I just knew that I was supposed to be here for my birthday, which is March 27th. I'm here now. We got here before. And the trek to Houston, I didn't know why I was being guided to go there, especially as early as I did until I got there. And I started to do healing there. And we started to do a lot of stuff. This, I can't remember why we brought this up, but Stacey wanted to talk about it. Stacey, what we were talking, this is the real map. This is the real map of the world. Oh yeah, the four corners.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take my microphone with me. Now I'll look like I'm it's so weird to hold the microphone. But then, so okay, so these points here, right here are the openings, okay? This right here, this whole circle, this is a real old map, the Odin map is so this right here is the known world. This is the example of it. Excuse me. And so you'll see our main continents in here and all this, and also four poles. And I would say
Wow.
that they're more perfectly like lined up. I wouldn't say that they look like this exactly, but anyway, um, my throat activation is really the way that they tell the story is, and choose what you want to believe. I feel like this is probably closer to truth than some of the stuff we've been told, but um, is actually the ice cap. So when we go to the ice cap, then we find that people get lost and disoriented, that they don't maybe realize that they're actually in an ice wall, and the wall is keeping people from coming in and also sending, keeping us from coming out, basically. um and then in all four corners there stands a large giant that actually looks like a mountain. It's grayish, like a stone. These individuals have been submerged in the visions and experiences I've had. It's it's one of those types of things that's just so otherworldly that it's almost difficult to say out loud, just due to the fact that it's assumed that it's very difficult to believe.
Mm-hmm.
But these giants are real and they are
Mm-hmm.
fucking ginormous. That giants are why ginormous is a word, and they have gray stone-like skin. I don't know how else to say it. And they've been the guardians of the corners, the four guardians. And did I lose my internet?
No, you're good.
Okay, everything stopped. Um,
I was just intensely watching.
I stopped too. Okay, so that was an important point. Usually when something like that happens, that's the thing. So these four giants are now raising up and have been for a little while. When I first started talking about it, turns out I remember that was when I heard about Athena Human Witness. I'd never heard of her before, and Todd was like, "That's what she's saying too." She's actually really amazing. If you want to check her out, she's got a YouTube channel. It's really cool. Um, but it's these four giants, and they're in the four corners, and
Mm.
that's why we have four corners in all of our stories and nursery rhymes. You find it through every culture. There's all this different significance. The four, the four, the four. So now
Mhm.
we're moving from the Trinity into the quadrinity, I guess is how you say it. We have been, that's why we were picking up the hairs of the Trinity. It's all about Trinity right now. And so then if you look, I'm gonna try to get out of the way and let you guys kind of look at this. I'm on the floor. You can see there's like Amun Ra. You can see if we find Eden on this map, you can find Asgard's up here, and so the Rainbow Bridge is what would take them down to come see us, and like the Northern Lights is an example of what we think is the Rainbow Bridge, but sometimes we see it as particles of light. There's just a lot of different cool things on there. So you can pause this and see. I got this off a screenshot of somebody else's video of showing old maps. And it's just really, there's a lot in there. So I'm not saying this is true or not true. I do know that this part's true. I know this part's true because I've been there. I've been there remote viewing, I've been there astral, and I've also been there in a long time ago period that all came together at the same time. Like it's a thing. It's and these giants,
It's the thing.
it's a thing. And I've been talking to these giants for a while, interacting with them, having dreams about them. They feel their sheer size. You don't even mean to give them such reference.
Mhm.
They're just so massive. You're just like, your body just doesn't do anything anymore. You're just like, you know. So I mean, and they're good. But they feel kind of like a babysitter good. Like,
Mhm.
don't you get into some mischief, almost.
Mhm.
So
And that's funny that you should say that because that's what I was saying. These energies feel like they're allowing me to play, but it's like, you can go so far when you're playing. There's that point that you cannot go. You just mind yourself. And that's
right,
what I'm saying. The energies feel like. And dude, when you're saying that, I'm just hearing, these voices that Dr. Joe have been bringing through. And he's like, I don't know who's coming in next. And he's bringing in these rock giant voices. And so when you're talking about these giants, I'm wondering if these are the people or the beings that he's channeling.
It's possible. I know they're rock people,
Mm,
and that specifically what he channels, I don't know who told me, if it was Dr. Joe himself or somebody else. So, but yeah, I've been told that's who he's channeling are the rock people. And the
mm-hmm,
rock people are a real thing. I
mm-hmm.
mean, they're down at the Four Corners. Speaking of Four Corners again, um, the Four Corners, Utah side. I had a lot of experience going down there. That's where I have some family association there. And they're real. You know it when you're going when you the closer you're getting to it, they start communicating with you. The I've had them in the forest here already too. The rock people are here, and um they're an ancient, lovely race. They're kind of similar if you take away the cartoony, cute face and chubby cheeks kind of stuff that you
You're gonna
see
say the Frozen,
in Frozen.
the
Exactly.
trolls,
They're
yeah.
similar to that energy.
Mm. I want that experience.
Yeah,
I want the rock people. I haven't had that experience yet, so that would be awesome
yeah,
to connect with those because yeah, dude, I've had that energy coming in. So that's really amazing how you just gave me that confirmation because it is most definitely like that babysitter energy that,
yeah.
they're very wise, they're allowing for the mischief to a certain point, and it's like, toe the line, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Interesting. Sarah Carter just had a comment that was, she says, "Is it possible the map behind you is actually a spiral?" I could see that.
Hmm.
That would make a lot of sense. And if you think about it, didn't was it Plato? I don't even remember who it was. Homer, somebody wrote about Atlantis. Um, I don't remember which, but it was a similar example of what Atlantis looked like. It was these concentric rings, and like, I mean, if you this, zoom in here, this is our known Earth, kind of, we've been saying Atlantis is here and here and here, but what if, what if? And this kind of I've been seeing for a while before this map, not mop, before
Yeah.
this map came into my experience. I wasn't looking for it either. It was one of those random things. Somebody who has like, you know, 59 subscribers posted a video that had nothing to do with anything I'd ever searched. But it's like, well, thank you for that. Um,
Hmm.
I was seeing that Earth was kind of like an island. Our Earth, our Earth was kind of like an island. And so this is similar to what I was getting. I just hadn't thought about the way that the wall would work. I always thought that everybody got turned around, and they still probably do. They get disoriented, lost, and then they find their way back out of the ice caps again, right? And like, who knows? I do know that I don't think anyone's wrong. I just think that some people are less right than others. And that's only based on my own experience. It doesn't mean that that's the only experience to have as well. Perspective also means what fractals have you brought to make up who you are right now? Because I don't feel like there's one soul here. Like when we merge with higher selves, we go through the layers of higher self. So we talk about merging with the higher self. We're doing that a lot right now, but they're like the first layer and then the other layer and then the other layer. And before you know it, then it's like, then you're in the embodiment of this higher self. And so it's a transitional period that you go through. And a lot of us are doing that right now too. Um, and I would say that just to then give Stacey back some time to talk because I just been rambling, but um that all of this stuff was coming through because and as a result of this festival for my experience and getting to know what's happening was because I was part of it. The reason that the festival was so important at the beginning was we were told that we were going to do the last healing, and we've been doing it. And now we finally did that part. Now it's just letting the wound weep, the mucus, we're transmuting, pulling all this stuff out. Like as we're having this come through, we are also debriefing and kind of starting to process a little bit in some way what we really did do and what we are doing. And some of us are finding our path and our story is identical to stories written in the Bible. And it's like hard to wrap your human brain around that concept of it. So, and that's where we are now. So,
Yeah, dude. I just know that I was grateful before I came. I have this practice of recognizing um being in gratitude for everything or whatever I can um be be thankful for. But it was just so amazing to come home with a new found gratitude.
yeah,
It's just, I'm like, whoa, it's like a new present, like something new to unwrap. And it was just I can't even tell you what I'm grateful for because I was already grateful. I'm grateful
yeah,
for living. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for having a home. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful to be able to eat every day. You know, all the things that you would be grateful for. But I came home with a newfound gratitude of something yet to be seen.
yeah,
And I'm humbled by that gratitude because I'm just like, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for this newfound emotion.
yeah.
And it's processing that because I'm having it before I sleep. I'm having it on awakening, waking up, being awoke, not being asleep. Um, so I do that was funny. But um, yeah, it was very the festival was very human based. Like be somewhere, do some stuff, you know, have a microphone, have speakers, have these things. So there was human things. And like you said, now we're here and we're trying to all of these things are coming in, all the merging of the things that are actually happening. So the wound is opening, we're doing these things. We're also trying to integrate everything that happened, everything that's happening. But so much was happening at that time that it's at the minute it doesn't even seem like I'm capable of
Yeah,
grasping what we actually did and what us as a collective are doing
yeah,
because it's not finished. It's not like, oh, we went and did something and it's fun, it's done. We had a finale. um and I don't want to say it was the start of something because we'd been doing work beforehand, so there's no real way of explaining the process of what happened, but it's just it's that limbo stage again, but
yeah,
it's not the same as it was before. The limbo was the anticipation of something coming, the anticipation of something happening. I'm no longer at that stage of anticipation for a something. It's in this limbo of something is happening and it's ongoing.
yeah,
And it's really difficult trying to do it from the human basis of it because of the other stuff that's coming through, but it just feels so beautiful.
yeah,
It's so phenomenal. And the process of, dude, I can't believe, like, literally 2 weeks this week I would have been flying out. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks
yeah,
almost. And it's not been an unpleasant experience to go through. It's I've been enjoying having that time. Um and I kind of got as well that I feel like a seed that's germinating because
yeah,
other than now, because I need to have a light on so you guys could see me, otherwise I'd be in the dark.
right,
I'm really enjoying having the darkness to grow this new process.
right.
And it feels awesome. So whatever is happening, and I saw what Sarah said in regards to I'm just going to jump topic now. When she mentioned the spiral, when I don't look at it directly and I was looking at you talking, I can actually see the spiral. It actually like if I'm not looking directly at it, it does feel like the spiral energy, the spin energy. And
That
oh,
would make
it's
the
just,
most sense too. That's how nature grows, is spiral. It is like, I mean, the Fibonacci sequence is an example. like where you see it get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it always spirals, and like that's how I see it too. All things always that that picture I show of all the different when we merge and return the out breathing out and the breathing the breath in, it it's a spiral too. When you go down, if you look from the side, you can see it's always a spiral. All things are spirals. It's true. That's cool. You could see that.
I can. Even now, if I'm speaking to you, if I just look away just to the side, there's no definite join of the cycle, but it does look like a spiral and it could be going either way. It could either be going down or coming up. So this centerpiece would be the point. Like those decorations that you pick from the middle and you pull up and
Yeah.
it spirals down, or if you push it the other way. So it could be either way. And
Yeah.
that's what is so phenomenal about this. We don't know which way is up,
Yeah.
which way is up,
You
dude.
really don't. Inverted stuff, and like I can't tell it feels like there's like new stars. And like it's not because, I've lived in a city my whole life. I was in the city for a month and a half, and like there's new stars. It's crazy. There's stuff coming through that people aren't seeing yet. I saw two UFOs last night. Like
Whoa.
that was really cool, and I was just like, they're coming over. This energy's happening. Our first night here, I didn't even know that our first night here, it was the rainbow meteor shower. And we didn't even know it. I was out there in the stars and it started to come in and we got to see every color, like Diamond Heart 888 here right now. And, Charmony's always, this rainbow sparkles. And that was my first thought. I was like, the rainbow sparkles, man.
Mm-hmm.
The rainbow sparkles happening. And like, and for me to be in that moment, in that place, in that specific moment and to happen to see it because it wasn't even supposed to start. The shower wasn't even supposed to start for another couple of hours,
I know that's cool.
and from this vantage point, it was already bright. You were seeing red and blue and pink and like,
Whoa.
yeah, it was really cool. And like every time, every step of the way, we've been held and everything has just been effortless. We've come to this place and like we're like all of a sudden, like all of you, we're just tired and we're transmuting all kinds of stuff and like I don't even know how I got here really, and like but at the same time it feels like we're here still together in the same place. It's so Twilight Zody,
Mm-hmm.
and like other stuff that's been happening a lot more is the way that we're connecting. Like Stacey was saying, we're having more telepathic conversations and we're also seeing more energies, like they're more pure and easy to see now. Once people start speaking something out, then it gets easier and easier to do, even if people aren't hearing the speaker, and so while we're doing that, we're like releasing the burden of all of the things. It's just so bizarre and so cool. And the amount of activation that we did on the during that festival, and seeing all of you, it was so amazing. Like a few people have mentioned this. Um, Jana had said something earlier that I didn't read out for her, but it was for the human connections, and like the human connections that happened were so cool. It was so much fun to meet people and just to like not have to explain what a hug is to somebody and get to
Mm-hmm.
have a hug without it being like, oh, is it gonna be or what's that for? And just to like feel the heart activation. You could feel the energy swirling if the person held on long enough, and like and then these little guys coming over and saying what's happening and they're seeing it, and like I don't know. I could say that after a while I can like we've had a few meetings where we had Zooms and you do feel frustrated. You feel frustrated because you got used to being together and getting to reach out and hug each other. And then now we're far away places again. And it is sad.
Mm-hmm.
It is sad. It's sad to, you know, have that reality. However, we're having another gathering here in April. April 8th is the eclipse, and we're in the direct path of the eclipse here on this mountain. And we're having a gathering. So anyone who wants to come, I'm uh we're just it's mainly going to be camping kind of stuff, unless you can find an Airbnb or a hotel. But everybody knows how important this eclipse is. It turns out that all along the path of the eclipse, through especially the Arkansas mountains, um, and Kansas, is that there are um most of the Airbnbs and hotels have already been booked.
Well,
So just so you know, everybody knows about it. They're all doing it. So here you can camp. And it's just going to be a fun little gathering that we're all going to do. You know, um, I'm guessing we're probably going to have about 100 people, but it might be more. We could accommodate, quite a bit more than that. If you're bringing a camper or a you know, just a tent, or a van or whatever, there's plenty of gathering places around here. And this is the mountain that's like you're picking up, crystals right here. This is a sacred place. You can feel it. The energy is constantly being cleaned and cleared that it doesn't feel any kind of energy. It's like almost it's a blank slate all the time. It's so bizarre.
awesome, man. That's so
Yeah.
awesome that you get to create the energy on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds phenomenal, man. It really does. And
Yeah.
before you know it, April is going to be here. Like the
Yeah.
way that this time is moving right now, like I know we've gone back and said it again, but dude, it's like you said last week you were traveling. That was a week ago.
Yeah.
And it
I
kind of
was
feels like it was
on
last
the
week.
road.
Yeah. But it seems like that was a year ago. It is so crazy how this time is moving. So before you know it, it will be April. Like I
Yeah,
can't believe we're nearing the end of December already.
I know, I know.
Like what the heck?
And it's disorienting on a human level too, because I've migrated from a extreme northern climate to the south. And so like that transitional period where you start seeing all the Christmas decorations, we were still seeing Christmas decorations, but it was draped in in blooming flower bushes of blooming flowers and palm trees and green grass.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
like it felt like it
crazy.
was a joke, like someone put their decorations out early or left them up from last year. You
Hmm.
know, it's so crazy. And then being
It
here too, it's the same. It feels like it's just early fall, almost winter.
and that's the energy I'm getting now. It's really strange that, I every year when this Christmas season comes about, obviously when I was younger and I understood like, yeah, Christmas is for presents and it's that exciting feeling, and then going through the middle stages of, recognizing that Christmas wasn't what I thought Christmas was. And then now being in this stage, it's so weird because my anticipation for what Christmas would have been for me as a child is what my anticipation for this energy that I'm feeling, for this excitement, for this unwrapping of new gifts
Yeah.
is at the same timing. And I'm just like, I'm feeling Christmassy, but it's not Christmassy, if
Yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense. It's not the same what I would adapt Christmas to be. So it does feel really, really strange because this whole festivity of lights and everything that's happening, like you said, it feels like it should be September.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of still in September energies, and I'm like, dude, this is like putting the decorations up like too soon. It's not
Yeah.
now. But yet still I'm having this excitement that it's kind of Christmas, but not that Christmas.
I
I
hear
know that sounds so bizarre, and I'm so sorry if that's miscommunicating some really weird thoughts.
it. Well, it's discombobulated just like all the other energies that are happening. Like we're feeling every kind of way about it. And that's why it's so hard to convey the experience on a human level, because we are experiencing it in all these other levels too.
Hmm.
These different, in the ethers simultaneously to this now moment that we're having in this embodiment. And then also time is becoming so much more fluid, more correctly of what it is rather than a linear. It's more of like a pond or a puddle that you can touch your finger wherever you want,
Hmm.
like, and so also too, it's the removal of time. And so I feel like there has been no time since our last meeting,
Hmm.
and it also does feel like it could be distant if I can't do that very easily though. Everything just happened. Everything that I've ever done just happened. It feels like
Hmm.
now.
Hmm.
And because it did.
Hmm.
The physical form is the only thing doing the linear. And when we teach ourselves to believe in the linear, that's when the body starts to degrade. It's the most bizarre thing.
Like the limitations, you limit yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny because I have been so exhausted and I'm just like, hey, I'm so excited. I'm
Yeah.
so excited. It's just, yeah, man. And the other thing is, I am sitting on the a side where I don't know who's watching us or commenting, but I can feel you all.
Yeah.
I can feel you all. It's like I am communicating with you, whoever I'm speaking to, and I can actually feel you all.
Yeah.
And it's really strange. And it's like I can feel you all now in the moment, and I can feel you all in what we would know to be the future.
Right.
And this is a new toy for me. I
Yeah.
am loving this. It is just like it's a new part of the game. And it's just
I knew.
it's a new a new wave, man. And it is so much fun. So
It's
yeah,
more than
however,
new.
even though I've managed to scrape my hair up and kind of make myself look like I'm with it, I've really not been with it. So to be able to sit here now and be able to convey any of this, it's just awesome that
Yeah.
I'm able to interact with everyone in this manner.
Yeah.
It's a really fun thing. And yeah, I'm hoping that if anyone is not feeling, at their peak right now, that it's coming.
Yeah.
Just allow it to pass over you and just know that it's a really awesome time.
Yeah.
This is a really awesome time that we've been waiting for. And yeah, man, there's no words. I'm getting all goopy.
It's true. I mean, that's the thing is like we are having all this stuff and it's like all meeting in the middle. We're getting so many different like planetary alignments and oh, look at this once in a lifetime opportunity after the other. And we just had, I don't those of you, some of you might not have heard at the beginning, we're talking about the sun goddess particle that made an interaction and impact with our planet, and that the polar ice caps, the polar ice caps, the polar caps, absorption rate is crazy. I'm just gonna pull that out on my phone actually to
And
show
that's
you.
what that image looks like. The
Yeah,
image on my leg, it's the same thing.
yeah.
Dude.
Dude, there's the circles
Dude.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And so we are having this crazy polar ice cap absorption from the solar flare as well as this other phenomenon that just occurred. It's happened a little bit longer than they're saying, because they had enough. I didn't get a date when it actually did it, but it just happened. And they were showing that they were looking for where it came from, the sun goddess particle. However, I'm just going to show you. This is the most recent, excuse me, photograph of the polar. So this is when you look at this to find information about solar flares, and the solar flare made impact here. You can see it gets less and less intense. So blue, indigo, and then violet. This is just the other side of this, is what it's showing. And then you have this red, and you really can't see it as red as much as it is.
Mhm.
Then the green is kind of blending in with my background here now. But there you go. This doesn't typically occur. This is saying that Gaia is taking in the energy that's coming in from this massive flare we just had and keeping it and keeping it in those caps. And so those polar caps. That's this in this example, it would be the edges here. When that happens, showing us that it's keeping this energy, and then we're going to continue to get more and more activity. We've had some crazy weird earthquakes as well as eruptions from volcanoes happening,
Mhm.
shifting of the planet. we're watching the Schumann resonance do some crazy stuff, and then all of a sudden not doing anything when you know it should be doing it, tracking some crazy solar activity. And we're watching the solar live thing, and there's a freaking comet that just flew into the sun, and then like right after it went on the other side, and people didn't seem to even make a big deal about it. They're like, oh yeah, look, a comet's going in there. While the narrator was showing it, it was like, oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. And like just all of this stuff is happening, and it's lining up with biblical texts from all different religious groups, ancient artifacts, as well as, for me, I follow a lot of the Native American stuff, and then you got the Rainbow Warriors, the Rainbow Tribe, this stuff that's happening. And and the migration that we made to this very spot being in alignment I didn't force any of this. Like, this is something I've known was going to happen, and they always said it would be effortless. They were right. They were right. It's all effortless, and it's love, and it's beautiful, and so we're all in this moment. So, and I almost forgot to say what I was going to say before is that they always presented this solstice as being like a snack compared to how awesome April is going to be, the spring is going to be. And so we're in it. And so if you're feeling it, just know there's a lot of reasons for it. We're getting a lot of upgrades, a lot of our DNA is coming online. We're getting our power tools now, and so we're noticing things, and some of them are startling to see because you don't expect to see something that wasn't there before, and usually it's kind of echoed by light, like a glow of some kind. So you can know what you're seeing is kind of a new addition to your reality, and it's epic and beautiful. And um this year, solstice is actually on the 22nd, by the way. That's something
Mhm.
that I didn't know. And Stacey enlightened me. Would you help them on, because I actually don't know how this works very well.
I get my am I allowed to show things?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Go ahead,
Um,
please.
I when I was following a lot more of my pagan traditions, I follow this book because when it comes to like the full moons, the new moons, sometimes I'm kind of out of sync, and I'd like to know sometimes if I want to perform a ritual or do something with my crystals, or kind of like how you made the rose water and stuff. But within this book, they give you like a really good guideline with anything that's approaching, and they give you the whole lot. They give you the whole
Um,
shaboodle. So they give you what's happening with any of the animals on the planet, around the world. So they tell you their mating cycles. It gives you all the times when you can sow like seeds and stuff for the best growth in the spring. Um, but this year, solstice happens to be on the 22nd, and it's in line with Yule,
right.
because generally I think they said that Yule and solstice both on the 22nd this year. Solstices can vary by a day or two, but Yule is placed on, oh, I think Yule is generally the 22nd
Yeah.
every year, but winter solstice has a tendency to move. But this year, Yule and winter solstice is on the same day.
Wow.
So, yeah,
That's got to
which
be
is
a pretty
awesome.
big deal that they're both on the same day this year as well.
I believe so,
Yeah.
because I've never seen that happen before. Because,
No.
like I said, this is a traditional book. I will have one at the beginning of every year, just so it's like a diary kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I tend not to write in it. It's literally just my go-to, like, oh, I'm feeling something today. When's the full moon? And I'll look,
Yeah.
it could either be the full moon or the new moon. And I'm sort of sitting in it and I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
So this has always been an awesome tool for me. So I've had this for, I'd say, about 4 years now. And I've
Wow.
never seen Yule and the solstice on the same day. So, and it's on a 22nd, the 2-2. So I
That's
found
amazing.
that a pretty awesome thing. So yeah, for some reason I feel that I will be acknowledging it this year
Yeah.
with some form of ceremony or other, because I do feel that it's like you said, it's it's
Yeah.
something to get our teeth into at
It
this
is.
moment. And I think it would be a really beautiful way of just coming full circle of the festival.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I feel to do a cacao ceremony and do a fire pit ceremony and just honor everything that has been
Yeah.
brought through thus far. Just to say, oh my God, I could really cry. Just to say thank you for getting me to this point right now.
Yeah.
You know, I feel when you say the word honored, I genuinely feel honored after going through so much, man, and just getting to the place where being in a space, and I'm not just talking physically, obviously, being at the festival and being around people that are my people
Yeah.
and being able to connect with you all, whether I can see you or not, this is a massive honor for me. And I feel honored that I'm on a journey with so many beautiful people that are recognizing the power in self and seeing how awesome that they are. And yeah, man, just bringing it all into a conclusive state that I just feel completely honored to know now.
Yeah.
And yeah, just be recognized for knowing. So yeah, so
Yeah.
sorry,
Thank
went off
you.
on a little tandem there, but yeah,
Thank
it's really, really emotional.
Yeah. I feel the same. It it's the hugest, the biggest validation we can get as well, because we knew that this union was going to be seen, re-seen is what the word I was going to say. So I'm just going to use it, for this time. And so it's like, yeah, we're here. We're doing it now, and we're making these reconnections. And the amount of familiarity that was had, I found to be really fun to be in witness of too. Individuals who I'd never seen their face,
Mm-hmm.
just I knew them, and it was awesome it's awesome to share those energies, and knowing that many of these individuals will be sharing we'll be living in a town together. We're gonna make our own town, our own village on this mountain, and like I've been seeing it for some time, and I'm excited. Some people will stay for lengths of time. Some people will stay for a very long time. It's going to be really cool, and that's what we're doing here. And the first of this is that gathering for this April window. And like I know some people are going to be here as early as the 4th, because the 4/4 portal, April 4th,
Mm-hmm.
is a portal day. And then 4 days later will be the eclipse. The eclipse, I believe, falls on a Monday or a Tuesday. So it's kind of an awkward, you know, but being here for the actual eclipse is going to be like it's going to be really beautiful. The ceremony we're going to participate in is going to be amazing. Um, and that's the other side of it. So like I've been waiting, we started to do the activations in 2017, and the healing and the migration that we've done started
Mm-hmm.
then too. And um now we're here, and hey, and whenever I see 3/27, whenever you see your birthday, that's being true to yourself, good job, kind of stuff. But and I knew I was supposed to be here by my birthday, and that this other activation that's happening now is part of all this stuff that we've been doing, and everything has been done with intention. And it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It's in Revelation. The story that we're doing is in Revelation. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And that's what I got. That's because that little bit I channeled earlier, that was a bit of a download from earlier when I was saying about the whole Christmas thing, the Christ Mass. Like we are, the Christ consciousness is divinely online and it's the Christ Mass.
Yeah.
Hence,
Yeah.
not Christmas, it's Christ
Right.
Mass. Like,
Gathering together
yeah,
in
together.
Christ.
Yeah,
And the
dude.
Christ is and Christ is this heart energy that you have. This is your soul spark. Yeah.
I feel it.
That's Christ.
I feel it, man.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's being activated in every single one of us at the same time. And it's just finding a way to be in that energy, and not, because at first a lot of us will go, oh, but I'm just me, or like I'm still doing that, man. I'm like,
Mhm,
I'm just Pamela, dude. Like, well, it's cool if y'all want to hang out. I'm just gonna be me,
mhm.
and then if people just, that's what it is. And once we all are able to be ourselves on the outside, then we can be in comfort and in peace on the inside, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then what's meant to come through comes through naturally. Half of the time, everybody in the most easy, at ease, natural state are channeling a
Mm-hmm.
portion of every conversation that they're in,
Mm-hmm.
anything they're participating in. There's always guidance that comes through, you know, and when we just let it flow and be in what it's supposed to be in. And speaking of that, by the way, for all y'all don't want to hear about female cycles, close your ears for a second. But
Mm-hmm.
like, so I had this, you know, leading into during the lunar eclipse, I should have started my period and I didn't. I had skipped a whole, which I don't do. Then I had now all of a sudden it's changed. And so that other people are going through this too. That's why I'm bringing this up. So then I had a full moon one and now a new moon one too, you know, and
Whoa.
so like, and it's like, it's a lot stronger than ever before. And I know a lot of people are affected right now, especially right now, more than before, by the moon cycles and their
Mm-hmm.
own bodily, their own body cycles, you know, like this has been, you know, another way of that we're cycling and purging through all this stuff that have been picking up too. Remember that we're the conduits. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like we're like a straw basically, and we're allowing this energy to move up through us and out. You're not meant to hold on to any of this. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
coming, anxiety is a really common one right now. People are feeling just like come and hit them, and it doesn't have to stay. It's going out.
Mm-hmm.
So all you got to do is say that's real. That's here. It has to for us to know that it needs to be guided up, we need to acknowledge its
Mm-hmm.
existence. To ignore it is just pushing it back down.
Mm-hmm.
And so we acknowledge it without judgment.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't coming from any specific place. It doesn't matter. You all we know is it's going. There's
Mm-hmm.
no judgment there. It's not blue, it's not green, it's not good or bad. And then to do that with love, you know, so you know that that energy was here in some way to assist us.
Mm-hmm.
And we also know that it's ready to go, and we're grateful that it wants to go too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a good thing. So we send it with love out. And that's coming through a lot right now. So we're just purging out the stuff, transmuting it, using the violet flame. I'll post an example of Guardian of Orion and I doing a violet flame meditation that we did not too long ago.
That'd be awesome.
Live. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's going to be really useful right now.
definitely. Yeah, dude, the recognizing and just letting it go. Like anything in small doses is good, but anything to the extreme, and that could be with anything, that could be with food or drink or
Yeah,
exercise or anything that's done out of proportion.
yeah,
So any of these things that we're experiencing, just like you said, recognizing them, playing with them. Oh, this is an emotion. Oh, I like this one. Not too keen on this one. Let
right.
them go. But it's all a part of it. And the tools that we gain from using them is awesome.
Yeah,
Once you do, I know I don't like to say we level up, but we do, we level up when we use them in certain ways, and we can use them to aid us in certain situations, especially when you have the anxiety come up and you don't just recognize the anxiety, you recognize the situation that is formulated with the anxiety.
yeah,
And then that's another way you can start realizing boundaries and setting boundaries for yourself and recognizing the things that you do want to have around you and the things that you don't, because that's also our choices.
yeah,
So it's all a part of it, and it's just that, again, with the pieces of the puzzle, like starting to put them together, and it can be fun, it can be stressful, but when we're not seeing it from a stressful point of view and we're using it, we're realizing that we can use them, it's all a part of our utility belt.
yeah,
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
There's all these awesome tools. Sorry, I'm just in this game.
It's
Everything just
333 right now.
woo-hoo.
It
I love it.
is a game. It's fun. It's play. It's dance. It's being in the moment, you know, and it's allowing. Oh, you know what? I should say something. There's been a question. At some point I was talking and I mentioned the Matrix. And I had said the thing about the Oracle when Neo had gone to the Oracle and to find out if he was the chosen one, and she had said, you know, you're not it, buddy, you know, kind of a thing. And have a cookie, you'll be right as rain or whatever. Um, she said that even though he was, in order for him to be able to still have the gift of what it is to be in the human experience and he uses free will. Um, and so I had remarked and compared that to my experience sometimes with spirit, is that the way that I got it was that we were basically the kids that were going to school the summer semester before school started to kind of get used to the territory. And then when, fall classes came in, then we would kind of like be like a peer tutor. We could like basically, this is where this place is at. That's where the cool kids go. That's where the people that, whatever. And then come, fall class morning, ding, 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 you're a teacher. And I would, that kind of energy, like I didn't expect to be the one of the people that people like wanted to hang out with, and learn things from. I didn't expect that, and like, so, but the reason that was done, and I was jokingly saying spirit can lie and I can't, I could lie if I, but I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. It impacts me in a lasting way until I absolve myself by telling somebody the truth,
Mhm.
and like, um, though that kind of conversation is based on an experience and a already previously had conversation that I don't want to have the end of my story read to me. That's why the beings wear the sunglasses, the big black eye, is because when you see inside their eyes, you find out a lot more about the story than, and if you know all of it, everybody thinks that they want to know all of it, and when you start to know all of it, the first thing, every time that I get a chunk of something that I didn't expect, or the first thing I always do is I reminisce on what it was like to not feel that, to not know that immediately before I'm not even done with the excitement of this part yet, but before I go, I want to remember what that was like, because
Mhm.
I'm not going to have that again,
Mhm.
and like, so that's just, so there's been questions. I was making an example about that and I didn't finish my thought because another download came in and another something else. And so just to be clear, that's what I meant when I was saying that spirit lies. It was I was said as kind of like a playful, loving, but jab your brother in the ribs with your elbow kind of way, you know, is that
Yeah, dude.
so
I get that. And I was getting like you've been waiting for this awesome book to come out and it's like this thick and you can't wait to sit down with your hot chocolate in a really cozy chair with the fire on and it's like really exciting. And then someone comes along and says, oh, by the way, that's how it ends.
yeah.
And you're like, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Really?
exactly.
There's no point even reading the first page now. Like, what have you just done? You don't want to know the end of the book. Even though it feels like you want to get to the end, you really don't.
Yeah,
Because although sometimes it feels like, excuse this phrase, but sometimes it feels like it sucks. When you get out the other side and you think, oh, actually, it wasn't that bad. Look what I learned from that. Well, I wouldn't have been that person if I didn't have that experience, or I wouldn't be this being without
yeah,
that experience. So yeah, it was kind of crazy at that point, but now, yeah, it's pretty cool. And if you knew what was on the other side, you wouldn't want to go through it anyway. So you want to get to the good bit.
yeah.
So
It does, it
yeah,
ruins it a little bit because then you have to wait and time doesn't translate very well.
again, waiting for everyone else. You're like, read the fucking book.
Yeah,
Sorry. Please
yeah,
read the book. I'm here on my own. I want you to read the book. I
yeah,
need you to get to the end.
yeah. You can't share it even when you try. And like, you know, I still don't understand why we have foresight for most of these things, because it doesn't do anybody any good when it comes to trying to stop or encourage or anything. Like it just, the stuff that I know is happening, when I know what's going to happen, and what it doesn't, saying it or not saying it doesn't change anybody, so it's like, I just think that they're street signs, so where you're going, and if it says that you're going south when you mean to be going north, then it's time to turn, the vehicle a little bit to get in a more correct alignment for where your destination is. But that's it. So, the symbols of these big events are, I find it comical how thick it's being rubbed on right now where people cannot not see it. They're making so many signs, so many, once in a lifetime astrological events. The way that the sun's behaving, comets are crashing into the sun. We're getting sun goddess particles impacted on the planet. We're having the solstice is landing on Yule. It's on the 22nd this year. We're having like, I mean, everyone is being drawn to do the same things. We're all simultaneously having physical sensations of mind, body, and
Mm.
spirit. We're all transmuting. We're all merging. We're all having these weird things happening, realizing that we're basically gods and goddesses embodied. Like, what did Todd say? We're gods and goddesses in blue jeans, and like, and we're doing the work. We're the boots on the ground, and we're in play, and for those of you who were a part of the Solology Festival, thank you. Thank you for participating and for coming and for being a shared energy in that, because you, even remotely, have included so much and amplified the experience, and I just love all of you. And I'm mournful that it's over. Like, it doesn't feel
Mhm.
like it's over yet, but I just saying that right now, it's like, oh, and we're having another something similar here in April, April 8th. So any of you who are interested, if you don't want to camp or sleep in your car or your van or something, because that's what's here for you to do on 152 acres of mountain, forest, and beautiful Ozark. Um, for those of you who don't have a place to do that, I've been told that the Airbnbs and hotels have already been filling up for months. So Boonville is the name of the town here. So find something, and if you are looking for a hotel, then you want to book it as now is what I'm getting, if there's anything left. And that's not because of our gathering. It's because
Mm.
everybody on the planet knows to gather in the line of this particular eclipse. This is a big deal. All the way down the whole path of the eclipse, people are already up at, and some of them are like zealots, some of them are like different kinds of religious groups and stuff. Is people know. And the
Mhm.
locals are posting it all over their like little community boards, and they're like,
Whoa.
people are coming in already,
Whoa.
4 months early.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
come.
Woo. Yeah, dude. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
There's so much.
It's so beautiful and so cool, but it's a lot of work.
Hmm. It is. It is.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. I don't know. Um, just blessed, I guess.
Yeah.
Just blessed because these things are happening, and I can feel joy, man. I can feel joy from every angle. It's like the oppression is over. The
Yeah.
oppression, the the disbelief,
Yeah.
you know, the being called out for not knowing what you're talking about or not being seen. Like, we're all being seen.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty of the festival, because everyone got to be seen, and we're all being seen. So guys, I see you. I may not physically see you, but I see you and I honor you. So yeah, I just feel so happy and blessed. And I love you, dude. I love
I
you
love
so
you,
much.
dude.
I really do.
We got a bromance going.
We do. We truly do. And I miss you every day, you and Maddie, and getting my squeezes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see you soon.
Yeah.
So it's so good.
Yeah. I love you so much. Yeah. That's everything in perfect alignment. I'm glad that everything that happened the way that it did. And I'm excited for the next one, the next. And again, it's only going to be in 4 months. So, you know, y'all are getting gift certificates for Christmas. Cash those in and pay for gas money to come to Boonville, Arkansas, April 8th.
Boonville, that's a name, man. I like that name.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Boonville.
it's a pretty amazing place. This is a cool place. And technically, so we're like the roots of the Ozarks. So like there's the Ozark Mountain has that terracing space, and we're upon that. Um, and if we do, I don't know how my daughter and I will be feeling physically. If we do end up going to the Mount Magazine for the solstice, I'll do what I'll see if I can stream. If not, I'll take video footage and post it as a video later on. Um, but this is a beautiful sacred place. Like everywhere you go, it's amazing. There's ancient energy in every corner of this place, and it's all like organic, natural, overgrown places. But then we're finding like these rock formations. There are these circles. They're all over the land. There are circles of rocks, like gathering places. I'm gonna try to find a picture really fast. But we should probably close up this call soon.
But
But
just,
like,
yeah, I just want to say that it does look completely just phenomenal. And it's like you said, it's all sort of overgrown, but you can see where these places have been used for something.
yeah,
They look ancestral.
yeah, and they're different. Like, okay, I'll just show you this one. It's not a very good example, but like these rocks that have moss on them.
Mm-hmm.
This is for there's the other side of it. There are a whole circle of them though. Like they're to where people sit, and like so over here would be the center of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like you could just sit around with each other, and like it's just that's all I wanted to do there too. Is I wanted to sit there. Like they're just really pretty, and they're soft already because they have the lichen moss on it. So it's already like, a pillow on your chair,
It just
and
looks
like,
awesome, man.
and there's like between 5 and 7 in all these different circles, and like just these large, and you could potentially have a fire in the middle or drums, have it be like a drum circle kind of thing. And like, so we're going in and cleaning up the leaves and stuff in those areas. And like, there's these big open areas that for us to like have like big community stuff. There's a massive bonfire pit. Like
Whoa.
there's just and like there's all of these, there's ponds, there's 3 ponds or just around where I'm at here. And the mountain is, there's 100+ acres that I probably haven't even laid my eyes on. And most of those acres were that I did see were driving, getting up to the mountain where we are now. So like there's just so much cool, beautiful, and they have armadillos here.
No way.
Yeah. And
No way.
I can't believe it. I haven't seen one yet, but I'm excited. Apparently they're really funny and they jump straight up in the air
Oh,
when they see
whoa.
you
I can't
and they
wait to
freak
see
out.
that.
I don't want to freak anybody out, but
I want to see an armadillo.
I know. It's really cool.
That is going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
And some of the rocks that you've shown, the crystals that are just laying around,
Yeah.
they're just there and they're just full of awesomeness. They're just
Yeah.
these powerful, you get these crystals. I was imagining, oh, you're going to find these crystals. Dude, they're like crystals. They're
Yeah.
like these big, awesome, beautiful shapes, and they contain at least 2 or 3 different vibes in one crystal. So the energy that comes from them is just, they look phenomenal, man. You're
Yeah.
just in such a blessed spot.
Amazing. And y'all
Mm.
are welcome to come hang out in this place with us
Woo!
too. April 8th, probably starting April 4th for anybody who's looking into it. So yeah, we probably should wrap up this call because my daughter has been not feeling very good. I want to go check on her. And so she's improving though, for those of you who are wondering. It's changed to something different. Now it's a cough,
Mm-hmm.
and so like it's unique for us because she doesn't get sick. That she's only been sick 3 other times in her life, so like it's okay. She's fine. It's normal kid sickness.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that she doesn't have it normally. So anyway, thank you all for joining though, and for
Thank
all of
you.
your comments. I'm sorry I didn't read everybody's comments. I'm just happy that all of you are here. Thank you for joining our conversation today. And again, a special shout out to Todd Medina, Sology. That was such an amazing experience. I'm I'm still, and I think I will be for some time, processing and really digesting what happened, unpacking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
what happened, all the way, but I can say that every moment that I was in, I was noticing the activation that was happening. And now the farther I get away from each of those moments, the more layers of healing and activation and upgrade I'm seeing that we're getting. It does, in that regard, it does feel like it's been a long time ago, because there's been so much that's been understood. I feel like I'm so much wiser, and it's only
Yes.
been a week ago, you know,
Yes.
but
Me too. Yeah, dude. Thank you, Todd.
yeah,
And thank you for everyone that showed up.
yeah.
It was awesome. Totally. Thank you for having me on today.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful to see you. I love you.
I love you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. We'll see you soon. I
Mwah.
don't know if we're doing Trinity this week. It being that it's falling on a day that Todd is doing something with Morgan, so um, I can't say that I'll be around and I'll go live again at some point.
For the solstice energy, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That'll be nice.
Anchor it in. You got this.
Hmm.
Rest, water, laugh, and if you can, connect with somebody else like-minded like us, that are like you, that like us, that you can just be yourself and say what's happening, so it can be released. Let it out.
Beautiful.
I love you.